Hi, Savannah.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, thank
Sorry
you.
I'm slightly late.
No.
I absolutely loved this movie. It feels like a really kind of rare film where you get the sense that the filmmaker's complete vision was fully realized. Is that the case here? Is this film what we see on screen? Is it quite similar to what you first envisaged?
I think the tone, the feeling, the place and time, the people all feel very familiar and feel like the direction that I was hoping to go when I first wrote the script. But then you meet people, and you meet the cast, and they ground it in who they are. So it obviously adapted and changed. And the DOP comes in, the costume, all these people make the film 20 times better than you initially imagined. But the tone, the essence of it, is definitely that feeling that I started with.
We want obviously one of the things that one of the people, sorry, that elevate the material is Tia, who puts in such a great performance. I mean, their audience has such what I did, it has such a great affection for the role of Gia. Can you just talk about that casting and just was it quite instant when you saw her kind of in an audition or through a conversation? Could you tell very quickly that she was just perfect for the part?
Well, we had been looking for a really long time for our Gia, and after a while, I knew that we needed someone from the Bay Area, and we were struggling to find someone who had acted before that felt right for this role. And then when I saw the casting tape, our casting directors did an initial casting with Tia. She was so grounded, and she felt so real and honest, and she put so much of herself into that initial casting tape. And so they called me up straight away and they said, "This is very unique. This is very special. Tia is amazing. You have to meet her." And when I met her, it took us a few times just to really get to that point, but I wanted to see how far I could push her. And one time she turned up with all this makeup on, and I said, "Let's do it again, but like take all the makeup off." And she every time I asked her to do something, she did that and worked even harder the next time around. And I think that sort of work ethic was what really pushed it to that kind of final level to get us there.
There's such a kind of fascinating, kind of human kind of conflict, I suppose, in the audience watching this because we want Gia to keep her baby desperately, but we also appreciate that the home and life that Monica can give the baby is also a really good one at the same time. Was it quite important for you as a storyteller here to not have any villains to this, to ensure we see the kind of merits of the adoption process, but we do so with a great deal of empathy at the same time?
Yeah, I think what was really important is no character is perfect. No character is entirely evil. And I think showing every character as a balanced, actually, balance is the wrong word. Showing every character as a layered character was really important. And at times they seem like they're supportive of Gia. At times they seem like they have their own personal motives, and that conflicts with Gia's motives. And I think that sort of layers is why these decisions are so difficult to make, and why these decisions are not clear cut, and why the system is the way it is. Um, and so that was really important to put us beside Gia through that decision making process.
And just my very final question, because I know obviously you've come into filmmaking from a really quite a unique kind of way, having been a kind of an Olympian athlete before. But do you I mean, to be an Olympian, to represent your kind of country at that stage, you have to have had such a great deal of restraint and dedication and purpose and ambition, all that kind of hard work that takes you to that place. Do you think all of those traits serve you and set you in quite good stead in the film industry?
I definitely think being an athlete was an extremely important asset to me becoming a filmmaker. I think there's so many times where people are doubting you, so many times where people are rooting for the other team right behind you, you know? And there's this sort of determination and this like crazy self-confidence that doesn't really feel realistic. And you don't always believe it yourself, but you have to kind of force yourself to believe it. That keeps you going. And I think for myself, I've really struggled, maybe even more so as a filmmaker, because I didn't feel like I had that natural raw talent like I did in sports. And so I felt like I had to work at it in a different sort of way. So I lacked that confidence a little bit, not a little bit, a lot. And so I think going back to that mindset of an athlete at times when you're trying to convince people to pay for this movie was really important. And then the other side of it was working on a team environment. And really elevating everybody around you to their best possible selves and seeing what skills they have and what talents they have and really trying to draw that out of them and allowing them to draw it out of you.
Well, it should be a lot easier trying to get funding for your second movie anyway after this. Thank you so much for your time today and best of luck with the release of the movie.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!